All right, good morning and welcome to the Sports Buffet on Elevator TV Radio. My name is Daffy Matthews. You're going to love to come in Elevator One of Sports. Let's get the party started. Let's talk about football for the next 1 hour, 9 a.m. to 10 every Monday to Friday. We are in the building talking about everything that is going on in the beautiful world of sports. Sunday, Onochukwu, God's mouth. Okay, you say well done, Elevator number one. Thank you very much. Well done to you too. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Elevator TV Radio. You can also download our mobile application on your Android store. Yes, it is Elevator TV Radio. And then you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where all the giveaway gets done. That's the only place where we do our giveaway. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Elevator TV Sports, for the very, very best of all the content that we put out. You can also watch us live on the live stream on our YouTube channel as well as my Instagram page and on my Facebook page. Well, this morning, there is a whole lot going on. I don't know what the word is today. Again, things have changed drastically that sometimes you sit back and you ask yourself, why is the world spinning this way? You know, I want to start with you guys asking this question. What do you think about what Zuma did first? Let's deal with what he did. What Zuma did, okay? Beating on the cat the way he did, and his brother, for the record, it's his brother that actually captured it on video, and then they put it out. It does look to me like he was ignorant of the fact, okay? Typical black person who always think that a cat is a witch, okay? But then, what are the lessons to learn? I'm not here to blame Zuma or blame his brother. I don't think his brother deliberately decided to sabotage him, but it was one of those things that happened. And, you realize the mistake after it has happened, after it has gone on too far, and there's nothing you can do. Okay, Sunday, Onuchukwu, tell us about your experience in Cameroon, AFCON. You've got to ask a specific question because I created a diary show. You can go to the YouTube and watch it. I created a diary show where I was sharing my experience on a daily basis while I was in Cameroon. So you can go back and see all that. But then if you ask me a specific question about what went down in Cameroon, I'll definitely be able to respond to it accordingly. But telling you my experience, it's a broad base. I spent over 10 days in Cameroon. So there's a whole lot that I can touch base with you on my experience in Cameroon. So I'm glad to say you are doing well, bros. Good morning, sir. Good morning to you. Thank you very much for that acknowledgement. I feel honored that you think I'm doing well. God bless you, bro. I saw you and Omar Akatuba. Yeah, we were together in Agarua, when the Super Eagles was there until they lost. And I went to Cameroon to produce a movie, but me and my guys were producing a movie, a documentary series on the Super Eagles' road to the World Cup. Okay, we call it Chasing Glory, underlining subtitle. Chasing Glory is the title, but then subtitle Road to the World Cup. Okay, so part of the AFCON is part of the elements of the series, and we went to Cameroon together. We're really hoping that the Super Eagles will go far in the competition, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Cost us a lot of money, but hey, life, this happen. If you're doing business, you don't expect that you will win all the time. But then let's talk about the things that are going on. Manchester United fans, come tell me what you think about your team. This is not me now. I'm not going to analyze your team anymore. What do you think of your team? Now, the players of Manchester United are saying they would rather Mauricio Pochettino is employed than Ajax Ten Hag. I don't have a problem with them preferring one to the other, but I want to know what you guys think. Is that really the problem of Manchester United? Is it coaching? Because we'll see a series of coaches: Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, interim position Ryan Giggs, Michael Carrick, Ralf Rangnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But the team is still the same. Different manager, same problem. Pretending like they are just about to take off, but the jet never takes off, never leaves the tarmac. So my question to you guys is, what does Manchester United needs to fix? Now, let's just oppose it to what Arteta is doing at Arsenal. Okay, exclusive divide. He said when the white calls the black human monkey, the punishment is softer than. I don't understand. The punishment is softer than what is applied to abusing an animal. This is just because he is black. Are you sure it's because he's black? I don't think so. I don't want to play the race card here. Okay, so this is one of the things that I like to do. Let's treat what Zuma did. Let's deal with the situation. Let's not bring the racism thing to it. Okay, let's just deal with this situation and see first. Animal cruelty is an offense. Okay, it's a crime. It's a crime. Sunday Oluchukwu, you say man, your problem is likened to that of Heartland FC. You know, there's so much similarity between Heartland and Man U. They always start the season like, oh, this season we'll get it right. Everything is fine. We've employed a good coach. We've recruited best players. And then they start the season. Maybe they give you like 3 good, surprising results. And thereafter, everything just go from up here, down. So Man United is really funny the way they run the club right now. Then, guys, I also want us to talk about Philippe Coutinho. I don't know if it is initial grad, but his return to the Premier League with Aston Villa under Steven Gerrard seems to be showing some games about him that we've not seen since he left Liverpool. Like the movement is there, the ability to create goals, the ability to also score. Everything is just on point all of a sudden. But this is the same guy who couldn't find a breathing space in Barcelona. At least leaving Liverpool, he won the Champions League. I don't know how you want to describe it, whether he wasn't an integral member or not, but his grandchildren will see the Champions League medal and say that our grandfather won a Champions League medal. Whether I was the leading player, who cares? The thing is, he won the Champions League. Just like I have an FA Cup medal, whether my father was a backroom staff or an engineer in the system, but he got an FA Cup medal. That for me is enough, an English FA Cup medal. So sometimes you don't even care whether the person was active. So having said that, but what do you think of Philippe Coutinho? He's come back to the Premier League, and it seems like he's a breath of fresh air, even though Aston Villa didn't get to win. And then let's also talk about Tottenham Hotspur. These are the things that I want you guys to sink your teeth on as we go on the show. It's 1 hour. Before you know it, 1 hour is gone. It's 8 minutes gone already. Tottenham Hotspur coach have come up, Antonio Conte have come out that his players are not emotionally stable enough. And what does that mean these days? I don't understand. That they're not emotionally and mentally stable enough to continue on the winning run. But there was a time when this team was winning non-stop and everybody said, oh, there's a new sheriff in town. He's done this, he's done that. What's with all these emotional this, mental that, mental? Like, I'm confused. Sorry, but I'm confused. These days, Omo Asiwaju said, if only they can defend and protect black footballers the way they are protecting this cat, which is good, this world will be a better place. Excuse me. But they don't give a hoot about racism. A few useless programs as species here and there, nothing serious to tackle racism. You're still not getting my point. You've not dealt with the issue on ground. You're bringing in another issue. I'm not saying that the issue you're raising is not valid, but on today's conversation, we're not tackling racism. We're tackling the act of somebody brutally attacking a cat and then his brother filming it and then putting it out. What was the go-to? What was the aim? Like, to show that, oh, my brother is a great hunter, he's a brutal guy, he can go and act, he can go and participate in Naked and Afraid, or the Living in the Wild, all those documentary on Natural Wild or documentary channels. Maybe that's the intent. But now he's lost his Adidas sponsorship. Everybody is pulling on him. Animal rights are coming at him. Everybody is pulling at him. Now, I grew up in Warri. I grew up in Nigeria, even though I've gone around the world, and I do not think that my upbringing is even able to make me comprehend that beating a cat is an offense in the first place. And I'm saying this, I know that this is a global channel and everybody's going to watch it on YouTube later and interpret it differently. But let's try and understand where I'm coming from. Let's put perspective to it. I'm sure Even though I'm a cat lover, and I'm a cat and a dog lover. I love animal, but I eat them too. I'm not a vegetarian. To be honest, my upbringing, my environment. You know how they say that the man is a product of his environment, right? My upbringing in my DNA, the DNA that I grew up with. Okay, I'm not talking of parental DNA. I'm just talking of environmental DNA. The structure that raised me did not at any point in time impute in me or inject in me, like, okay, the vaccine that I took for the COVID vaccine that I took now, that is making my hand pain me. They didn't inject anything in me to make me empathize or sympathize with cats. So somebody like me now, if I'm in the position of consumer, I probably might do the same thing. And then when people start, coming out to complain and shout, I might just be amazed at, what are they complaining about? This cat now wish now. You understand? You know how we behave here. So there is this is a learning opportunity. That's why I'm even having the conversation in the first place. This is a learning opportunity for all of us. Don't take what you learn, what you got growing up, and take it forward. Learn where the world is going to now, how things are, and then learn to adjust. Okay. Sunday Oluchukwu say animal cruelty in the United States is a serious crime. Anyone caught will be going to jail. You don't try it in this part of the world. Thank you very much, bros. And now you are getting into the conversation. Divine 14. What's that number again? Sorry, 14859. They say white people have hunted out entire populations of exotic animals in Africa, but someone hit a cat and he has to be cancelled for life. Give me a damn break. Now this is something that, let me clear that thing you just said. You know that thing that when we're growing up, they said that when you live in Rome, you do as the Romans do. Remember that phrase? Okay, so it comes to play here. So there are in Nigeria, iguana in some part of Nigeria is good food. And I've seen people kill iguana and eat. In short, just next to me, the next land to this studio, there are iguana there. There are monitor lizard, iguana there. Okay. But there is a part of Nigeria, Kwale, and in my Urobo nation, Orogun, where you cannot kill iguana. If you do, an Orogu person or a Kwale person is there, they call it their mother. They will take their wrapper, cover it, will cry. Because I remember one time in Globestar, when I was working with Globestar Worry, the pipe that we're moving pipe from one place to another. I wanted to do maintenance. I want to move the Stinger to that place. So we're moving pipes that have been there for years. And then they moved pipe, and I think one crushed an iguana to death. One woman was passing, one Orogu woman was passing. She started crying. Like, this is my personal experience. Not like I read it in the book or hints of some super story. This is personal experience, something that happened in front of me. I could not comprehend why that woman was crying. She came to the gate that they should give her the crushed iguana and allow her go bury the iguana. But then there are other people around who wanted to eat the iguana, like give us a meat, go roast and bush meat. So what I'm saying here is, when these Westerners, Europeans, came to Africa and hunt these animals into extinction, there are no laws. They say laws that are not backed with punishment is useless, right? There are no laws that stopped them. There are no laws. There are co-conspirators here who allow that happen. A white man, I repeat, a white man cannot leave Europe or America or anywhere, come to Africa and do anything if there are no Africans that are co-conspirators, right? So, and then there are no laws, there are not certain examples, whether with Africans or with Westerners, that makes it possible for you to say you punish people doing that. So there are two different things. That's why they say if you live in Rome, you do as the Romans do. I'm sure that if you kill an iguana or a monitor lizard somewhere in Europe, nobody's going to say anything. It's come on, what's that? Nobody's going to say anything. But when you do that in Orogun, be ready for what comes to you. Orogun might not be in the larger social media space, because when we argue this thing, let's not bring racism into it. If you go to Orogun now and kill iguana, I am certain that Orogun people will kill you. I don't know if Orogo, people from Orogo, from that region, are watching this video or watching this show. Give me your take on it. If you kill iguana from Kwale people's side, like Abo, those people, if they have that, they will kill you. Just the same way, Islam did not take it lightly when that French illustrator used Muhammad for his cartoon. They took the guy out, right? So we must understand this, that it cuts across everywhere. So let's not generalize one group of people and say, and then use the blanket of racism. I really don't like playing race card. Okay, let's not use that as example. Divine 14:8:59. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You might be asking for a break, but you've not dealt with the fact. What Zuma did, was it good knowing the country that he is in? Was it right for his brother to have filmed it and put it out there? Because there's this thing called, when you film something, you have to watch it back before you decide I'm putting it. It's not like it's a live stream. Okay, so you have to consider yourself like, wait, I'm a brand ambassador. I represent a lot of things. Okay, should I be doing this? So there was once upon a time, I used to be very like top worker in church back in the day when I used to go to church. I don't go to church anymore. But when I used to go to church, I used to be a worker. And I remember, so let me tell you this very, very simple thing. When Legend Extra Staff came, I was still in Brilla, talk of the town, like very, highly popular. Not now that I'm trying to live Kode life. And I remember it was Two-Face Idibia and some other guys that they were using for the adverts. I used to be within that circle. So they said, okay, I will join them. All I need to do is just hold the Legend Extra Staff glass and pretend to sip it, okay, while they snap the picture, and they will give me money. Okay, there was money available, there was all that. I don't know what the figure, I can't remember the figure again, but I'm just going somewhere with this. And I realized that I've never tasted alcohol in my life. I don't drink, I don't do beer, and then I'm working in church, right? Why would I hold a glass of beer and then I'll be on billboard and magazines everywhere? It's exciting to be popular. It's exciting to be on billboard. Okay, I'm not sure I've ever been on billboard. I've never been on billboard. So it was tempting. But then I realized what I represent and I turned it down. I didn't take the money. And everybody was mocking me. And I remember they were like, this one a woman, this one a woman, this one a woman. But I just knew where I was at the time, what I represented. And I think that that's the context in which I'm discussing this consumer. Consumer should have thought of what he represented, and even his brother, who knows that consumer is your breadwinner. Not everything that happens in the secret. I know that even Bible says that what's done in the dark will come into the light. But sometimes you just need to keep what happens in Vegas to stay in Vegas. Once you decide to put it on social media, be ready for the consequence. And that's what I am discussing today. Where did you, in this matter, don't bring racism into it. Scott Zuma, his brother, the whole cat issues and the canceling. We live in an era of canceling right now. I said something the other day on my live video, and one guy said I was insulted because he said something about the Super Eagles that wasn't right, and I reprimanded him because I was in the Super Eagles camp, and he started saying that I was arrogant. I was just, he unsubscribed to my channel. I understand. We live in the era of canceling. If you cannot afford it, if you cannot afford to lose subscribers or lose followers, you will have to dance to their tune. People like me, see here. You can unsubscribe if you don't fall in line, come out. If you don't like what they offer, come out. I always tell people that way. As much as I need to have 1 billion subscribers, I don't want to have people who subscribe to me and turn me into what I am not. That's what it. Divine, I say, have you heard of Michael Vick? Check out his story. Okay, that's not a conversation. I don't know if you get what we're saying. It's not about Michael Vick now. We're not talking of Michael Vick. This thing that, okay, so let me tell you one other story that happened. When the first democracy, 1999 set, when all the governors left, and there's a governor in Jos, Plateau State, the former Plateau State governor, his name is Darie, okay? Now, Darie it was announced that Darie stole money, blah, blah, blah. AFCC was after them. That was the days of Ribadu, no Ribadu. And I wrote on Facebook, I was like, why are people stealing with impunity and nothing is happening? And then on that post, and I said, just people will still see that man coming and they'll be running after him. Guess what? Under the post, just because they know I'm from Delta State, under that post, everybody say, you can come here and talk about Darie. What of your governor Ibori? Is he not a thief? Now, let me tell you what we're going to with this. Do not use what another person has done wrong to justify another wrong. There's never a right way of doing the wrong thing. So if you want to deal with somebody's wrong, don't say, I know that my guy did wrong, but what of your own guy that did wrong? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about your guy right now that did wrong. Tomorrow, raise a topic about my guy. You know, I used to have a disagreement with my wife one day, and we're talking, and then she just brought something that happened like 4 years ago. But when this one happened, I did not say anything. Why? So I just knew, okay, we're not gonna have a quarrel. That doesn't work in this house. I don't think that a husband and wife should quarrel. That's my belief, and it might not work everywhere. So I just say, okay, chill. Now let's turn this into talk. I sat down. I said, babe, listen. If I do something that you don't like, or I say something that you don't like, because I'm very playful, and I'm gonna say some shit, some trash sometimes. If I say something that you don't like, sit me down and say, babe, this one, oh, you might be joking, but I don't like it. Don't do it again. I'll be conscious enough not to. But don't let me say something, you laugh, you feel excited, you get orgasmic, and then 5 years later you throw it up and say, because I'm trying to correct something that you're doing, you're not bringing it up. Because you can't find any fault in the last 5 years or 10 years or 11 years that you've known me, you're not bringing that one. And that joke that you made that time about me, I didn't like it, but I did not say anything. What? But you didn't say anything at the time. So that's what I'm saying. Let's deal with these cases on their individual merit. Let's not go and be bringing somebody. Let's not go and be bringing somebody that is not. I say, oh, you're talking about Darie. What of Ibori? If Ibori is a thief, he's a thief. We'll talk about Ibori, but right now we're talking about Darie. That's the conversation around Zuma. What do you think, Zuma? And you know why I'm asking this, especially those Nigerians, whether you're a Nigerian that is born here or Nigerians in diaspora, try and think about this thing well. When you were growing up, Nigeria, we even did a movie called Liz Awa. If you remember back in the day, Liz Awa was about a lady. The movie was extracted from the northern part of Nigeria, maybe just Plateau State or the rest. And the girl was always turning into cat. Okay, and cat was, I've always represented something that is not positive. I don't know. I like cats. Maybe because of my time in Germany or Europe. I don't know, but I like cats. Okay, I like cats. It's just that I always say that you can't train animal in a public compound. I live in a public compound. I'm not rich enough to buy a house yet, but I will buy very soon. So until then, I can't have a cat right now. I cannot have my cat disturbing neighbors and putting people through trauma because I might like it, but my neighbor might not like it. Another thing that worries me about animal is them reproducing. If I want to have a cat, I just want to have one cat. I don't want to have 2,000 cats in my house. So I'm also very cautious of that. Just the same way I love dogs. I can have like 4 or 5 or 6 dogs. Some for security reasons. Dog that I don't like that dog that they call Chihuahua. It's not my thing. So I'm saying let's have this conversation on that premise. Let's deal with consumer. Don't be bringing in Australia, this will not happen. In Germany, that one. No, talk to me about this one. What do you think? Sunday, Onuchuku said, well done, bros. More blessings. Thank you very much. Divine, I said, even the ball and their boots were made of what? Okay. Now, if you talk maybe before, I agree it's leather. Right now, football boots and football itself is from rubber. So that's the conversation. I know where you're going, but that's on me. It doesn't apply right now. They don't use animal skin for boots anymore. Synthetic rubber, all this pure water bottle, cellophane is what they use for boots. So if that's your conversation, you're still not having a conversation. J. Dale 1, he said Kozuma was just a scapegoat, but did he do something wrong? Okay, you can't be innocent and be used as a scapegoat. Now think about it. You can't just be used as a scapegoat. Let me go to YouTube and see what people are saying. All right, so Sonic going to say some players are suited to play a certain way, a certain pattern, and in a league where they know how to play so well. Hazard should take a cue from Coutinho. Thank you very much with that. Trix Pascal, it's been a while. I used to see cats as witches, okay, until I land for UAE and see them treat and honor cats like humans. While in Rome, one must surely behave like Romans. That's my point, bro. You are not speaking my language, right? Since I was born, I'm an Orobo man. Since I was born and raised up in all of the different countries that I was raised, eba and soup, they separate. I'm just giving you guys an example. Eba get your own plate, soup get your own plate. I came to Yoruba land and I saw for the very first time, just think about it too. Me growing up in Warri, in the house of an Yoruba woman, my mother and my stepfather and his young man. Growing up knowing that Eba and soup they separate. And I come here and I went to restaurants, very touch clean restaurant, and I saw one black thing that represents Eba called Amala. They put it in the plate and then they press it, shake it together, running over, good measures. They put it there, good measure. They measure it, good measure. Press down, shake it together. They shake the bagiri together. Take the ewedu together and put it inside. Then I put the stew and the meat. Just think for a minute, the culture change. Okay? Just think for a minute how it worked for me. But over time, I've learned to accept it, even though I've never ate amala and ewedu together in a plate. But I've come to accept it. It doesn't irritate me anymore. It doesn't put me off. My point is, when you live in Rome, you do as the Romans do. My friend Bali Lawal said something to me one time. He said, once you go to a foreign country and you made up your mind to stay there, the first thing you need to learn is the language. Because it is in the language that you learn acceptance. Okay? Because you need to hear what people are saying. People are not going to adapt to speaking English for you just because you are a stranger. They will speak their language because they're comfortable with it. And in that moment when you don't understand the language, you will be sold for free. So you must learn to adapt. James Pascal went on. He said, Conte should not be surprised that Spurs lost. The decline has just started. Remember, Jose Mourinho had this same good run of winning when he initially took over at Spurs. Same with Nuno Espirito Santo. It's just Espirito Santo won the manager of the month as he started the season with Spurs. And everybody like, oh, this is the season where Spurs will win the league. We told you that Nuno Espirito Santo is a world-class coach who was just coaching a bad team. Well, the following month, he was fired. Rumours Isaiah Peace, it's been a while. He said, in this era of social media and unnecessary exposure, we have to be careful what and how we captured our private lives. I always say that to people around me. I say, listen, okay, so there was a time my son was crying, like needless cry, Tega, crying needless cry, right? And I captured it on video and put it on Instagram. And some people started DMing me, telling me that this is child abuse, that, I'm abusing my child. I'm putting his crying in public, that when he grow up, this thing will traumatize him. I check out some of them, they're never even born. They don't even know anything. I was like, this one's I don't even answer on that. One has said to me that he will get child welfare. I said, I know the American. Nigeria child welfare safe. They're going to verse for you if you go report this kind of thing to them. Okay, Dale once said, actually, Kurt's brother stupidly fell for social media sensationalism. He possibly thought the video was funny and would go viral. Unfortunately, it went viral for the wrong reason. Now we're having a conversation. Thank you very much for that one. Okay, Rumours Isaiah said, we need to be very careful, even leaving any of our private pictures and videos in our phones. Any unsolicited asset could be hazardous. Okay, well, I know they do naked pictures. I don't know how, like, I just take the picture and I just feel like I'm naked. I want to see myself. That's why I have a very long standing mirror in my bedroom. Like, I walk naked, I would stand in front of that mirror and see my Adam and Eve moment. And I don't even like it. I'm more than nervous. I don't have six-pack. I have upcoming balloon, but I'm trying to suppress the balloon. I'm trying to use pin to puncture the balloon so that the balloon will deflate. But this one is refusing to deflate. I'm an upcoming balloonist. I'm not a six-packist. I used to be a six-packist back in the day. And then it went from six-pack to two-pack Amaro Shako. And from two-pack Amaro Shako, I'm not chasing Notorious B.I.G. So all those naked picture things, I don't do it. And my walking stick, it's not a demange level. It's not that long. And the person that have it, like it the way it is, there's no need to snap picture and begin to look at it like, this is my carrot. Is this a carrot or is it a banana or is a what's the other one? What's the other one? That green one that people shop. People will not get money in the shop. They'll say na kettle. I don't forget. So I don't do naked. I'm not in the naked picture business. But it doesn't mean people should stop doing it too. People will enjoy it because this is sex tape. They make people famous. So let's not forget that. There's also a plus to that conversation. That's a conversation for another day, right? And one of the Peter he said, what we need to answer here is what is the appropriate punishment for animal cruelty? Because what people are saying is that the punishment to Zuma is overboard. And if punishment are not expressly stated for a particular crime, then the court, this, man, somebody's really making sense here, stated for a particular crime, then this culture will become a monster we can't control. Now I agree with this man. He's brought a perspective and angle to it that I really do love. What's the punishment for animal cruelty? Let's see. We still have the internet with us. And what is the punishment for animal cruelty in the UK? Because laws changes as they move from countries to countries and continent to continent. There was a time where one guy, kangaroo in Australia, kangaroo, Colombia, choke hold, gave his dog a choke hold, and he went at the heat of the moment, tried to rescue the dog, and then gave the kangaroo a punch. Normally kangaroo is the one that likes to punch and kick. For once, in that video, it's funny, in that video, the kangaroo was in shock. That's the first I realized that kangaroo, they're emotional being, like they're deeply emotional. It was in shock, like, human being for this country, they punch kangaroo. Alien attack. It was funny. What is the punishment? Punishment for animal cruelty in the UK. Now, India, not the CEO, US in the UK. Okay. So, because we need to know what the punishment is. Individuals who commit offenses against animals will face fines of up to £5,000 under new legislation introduced to Parliament today. This is 2021, 16th of June. Okay, the fines will be introduced to ensure that offenders face tougher penalties for crimes in addition to the existing maximum fine. So there's no more style. Maximum 5-year prison sentences for the most serious offenses. So at this point now, I cannot blame the cancel culture anymore, because 5 years imprisonment. Would you rather Adidas sponsor him and even so his prison where, give him his prison design, but they should take him away from the club he's playing for and send him to 5 years in prison? Okay, I think he's going to come back. He's going to learn from it and come back better and stronger. That's what I think anyway. But Peter gave us a different perspective to the story. I went to check what the law says, and I can always say I live by the law. Okay, what the law approves, what the law subscribes to is what we will live by. But let's get past that one. Manchester United are going through. So in 2013, when Sir Alex Ferguson left, and I like to make reference to this, when Sir Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, I said that they're going to take 10 years before they will taste the title again. I remember that year I said it would end in 7th, and then some people tried to sue me, also tried to make me lose my job, but I didn't lose my job because I stood my ground. I was going to win that way. I know I was also threatening that time that if at the end of the season Man United does not end in 7th, I will pay dearly for it. Well, I didn't pay dearly for it because they ended in 7th. But since that time, Man United are now stealing from the playbook of Liverpool. So, 1988, Liverpool won the league title and lost the FA Cup to Wimbledon. Remember that year. And from that time, they didn't win the league again till the club won it for them. There was a 30 years gap. Now, in that 30 years window, there was one recurring decimal with Liverpool. So there was no social media at the time. There was not so much media at the time. But I happened to be one guy who used to go to England and back. And I used to read Shoot magazine and all the British magazines on sports back in the day, okay, because of my family connection. Now, one of the things that was constant back in the day was when people like Stan Collymore, Rush, Robbie Fowler, Steve McManaman, McAteer, it's not Jesse McAteer, but McAllister and all the rest were playing for Liverpool. The older generation of Liverpool, the Kenny Douglas era and the other guys and the Iron Rush era class of people will always be in the media, Match of the Day or BBC at the time, and be talking about how Liverpool, the current Liverpool, are not playing like the old Liverpool. And they don't understand how much that pressure weigh on the current players because they didn't need to play like that. They just need to play and win. So when in 2001, for instance, they won 5 titles, they won the English FA Cup over Arsenal, they won the Europa Cup, they won the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, and then they went to win the European Super Cup. Michael Owen was voted world best player and all that. People still were not satisfied. They said that they were winning secondary titles. They didn't win the primary one, which is the league title. And then in 2005, this was 4 years later, Rafa Benitez went on to win the Champions League in a miraculous comeback against AC Milan after taking a 3-goal deficit in the first half, and then in the second half, they worked their magic and they equalized 3-3, and then went on to win on penalties. Again, the class of the old, the class of 88 and their generation, the John Bansis of this world and the rest of them felt like, oh, this squad, they are good, but they are not as good as the squad that won the title. So that was a burden to exhibit themselves. So players like Xabi Alonso, players like what's it called? All of those guys that played in that generation with that crash. There's always this thing comparing them with one other player. Oh, Jibril Cisse, it's not good enough. Blah 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 blah. You know, and it was a problem at the time. It was a very big problem at the time. So you look at this same Manchester United. Similar thing have happened. Similar situation have come up with Manchester United, and you just see that it's the same old story. English people don't learn. English people don't learn one bit. They don't learn at all. They make the same silly mistake all the time, and that mistake. And that mistake is what they keep doing. Now look at Manchester United. The class of 92 now represent what that old Liverpool class used to be. Every coach that have come in, whether it's Jose Mourinho, Louis van Gaal, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who they also supported because he was one of them, and now Ralf Rangnick or Redneck, or I don't know what his name is. You know, they seem to put the burden of you must be like Sir Alex Ferguson. You must play like Sir Alex Ferguson did. You must do what Sir Alex Ferguson did. In Sir Alex Ferguson time, the team does not play like this. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, the team does not do like this. And that pressure is not turning Manchester United into a team that could, and my United fans don't want to hear this, but it's the truth, that could go 30 years or 600 years of suffering without winning the Premier League. They might win other titles like we've seen with them winning the UEFA Europa Cup and then going to the finals again before losing to Villarreal. But truth be told, Manchester United are suffering. Now I'm saying, is it not time for the class of 92 to shoot their sword and wait? And remember when Jurgen Klopp came in, the tide have turned. The old class have become too old to speak. When you've gone 30 years, they've become too old to speak. They've said the same thing over and over and over again. They begin to sound like a broken record. Nobody was interested in listening to them anymore. And that gave Jurgen Klopp the peace and the ease to go on and win the Premier League title. It's now beginning to look like Manchester United is going to be a victim of their own high standard. Divine 14859. He said, please, people should know that everyone's getting cancelled for some shit they said 10 to 100 years ago. It's a straight up cancel. Never say anything wrong ever, or you are condemned forever. What I say, so this cancel culture is a new norm, right? And I've had my fair share of canceling. Like seriously. Let me give you a very good example. When I was sacked in 2017, 15th of August 2017, some people threw parties. Like some people celebrated. When on 11th of April 2020, my verified Twitter handle was stolen from me, and I still haven't gotten it back. Some people were happy. And I think it's a normal thing. Cancel culture have been here since forever. Jesus Christ faced it. People before them faced it. Abraham, Elijah. Read the Bible very well. People face cancel culture. Solomon had 1,000 women in his life because he was trying to please everybody. He was trying to go and look at all the women that Solomon married. Solomon married from every country that could fight war against Israel. So he was more like, he was the first diplomat that ruled Israel because he was trying to avoid cancel culture. It takes boldness to face cancel culture. That's why I love Dave Chappelle. when he came out on the LGBTQ stuff and everybody was trying to cancel, like he stood his ground, and thanks to Netflix as well. So there's gonna be cancel culture, okay? Kevin Hart suffered it and he did host the Grammys. But I also love the way he stood his ground. We've got to also learn how to be strong when we're right. So if I speak up about something and I know that I'm right about it, and I know that it is right, and they're trying to cancel me, I shouldn't buckle and fall. I shouldn't cry. I'm right, I'm right. You want to cancel me? Cancel me. Okay? You can cancel the plate of food that I eat. You might cancel me and make me not to buy a private jet, but you can cancel the food that I eat because I don't need you to eat. That's just the truth. What's come to us? I always tell people, I'll go and dig gutter, I'll go and walk. In construction site will never end. But I'll have deliberate, because even the Las Vegas give us this, they are deliberate. So I can't, because of the fear of cancel culture. All of us have said something yesterday, done something yesterday, slap a girl in the back in the way that we shouldn't do it as men. Girls have also said something. We just have girls don't face cancel culture the way men do. But they always play the victim. I'm not trying to cause a gender war yet. But one of the things that I'm saying is, if it's going to come back from yesterday, I can deal with it. But today, now that we know that there is a cancel culture, don't do things with your hand like Isaiah said, Rumours said on YouTube. Don't do things that will unnecessarily expose you to the dangers of cancel culture, because it is a venom, it is vile. Now people would tear you apart without caring. People would destroy you. So for people like us who, take for instance, my whole business is online. My whole business is online dependent. One guy sent me a message the other day and said, "Why did you stop pushing Elevator TV and you want to go and do at least, and then you are now doing movies?" And I said to the person clearly, I said, "Listen, I've not even started. I've not even taken off the ground. Some guys came and said they want to do a show on this thing. I've not said this before. They want to do a show, and it gave me the synopsis of the show. I didn't like it. And I said, no, my radio cannot represent this because it doesn't really pass a good message." And I don't know how it happened, but then they started this campaign against us. First off, threatening me that they have people, their friends are subscribed to the channel, they would unsubscribe. And I noticed that the numbers were dropping. I was like, okay, no problem, fine. It's not the end of the world. Before YouTube begins to give you money, you must be in the millions. Right now, it doesn't give me money. So I'm just doing it, and I'm happy that it's growing. But it's an experiment. I sat where I am. One day I said, I want to do YouTube, and I want to prove to people that I can do this. And then my children should be able to grow up and say, our father put his mind to do something, and he did it. We also can do the same thing. Now, you create this as a family tradition. We're believers, right? But I didn't sit back and think that it's going to happen overnight. But when I started facing that cancel culture, the first thing I did was, you've got three expensive children to take care of, to pay their bills. You've got a beautiful wife to also take care of. You've got to be able to stand up for yourself and go out there and look for opportunities that will give you money to take care of them. People are not going to keep answering your call and sending you money, okay? Even if they do, it's going to be money that is not enough to buy candy, okay? So you've got to be bold. You've got to be strong. You've got to rise up and defend your family by providing for them, because that's the job of a man. And that's how I went to partner at least, and we created that company. And then we started doing, podcasts, film room, doing movies, and the rest of them, because I need to sustain my family. Does that mean I've left Elevated TV? No, I haven't. Numbers are growing. We're still getting subscribers. Not as we used to, but we're still getting subscribers. It's just for you to be dynamic. Cancel culture, the fear of cancel. My mom used to say that, I'm not going to feel like your shit. So because of cancel culture does not mean we will take a stand on something. But when we take a stand, let's take a stand on something that is right. Because there's never going to be a right or wrong way of doing anything. That's my thought on the cancel culture thing. I don't think we can stop it. Cancel culture is a new blackmail. Okay. And Divine said, by the way, it doesn't matter if the thing you said was perfectly socially acceptable to say in the time and place you said it. If the culture changes in the future, you could be already guilty of the future. I know that. Yeah. Because what Kevin Hart said, I would say the same thing. I'm sure that my mom will say worse than that. Okay. But hey, cancel. Okay. The more popular you get, the higher your chances of getting, somebody going to the past to go and dig up something and using it against you. I've experienced that many times, especially in my days in Billa. I used to tell people in Billa that I was the most hated guy. So I got used to it. I was a Dennis Rodman of radio. I wasn't a guy anybody loved, and I wasn't interested in anybody loving me. But the truth is, what Coutinho did, he didn't do it in the past. He did it now. In the now. And he's dealing with the consequence instantly. We might not like it, but it's not something right. Okay? Crimes, you know how they say this, the sins of our father will be, the sins of our father will be visited on the first, second, third, and fourth generation. And I always said that part of the Bible makes me get very, very confused with God. But you can't find God. God is on his own place. But I don't believe everything in the Bible. I'm sorry, church folks who are watching me. If this is going to lead to another cancel culture, cancel me. But the truth is, I don't believe in everything. Everything in the Bible can be like when person God cannot lie, God cannot make mistake. Hey, shut up. Shut up. Something is not right. The way the world is. That's a mistake. If it's a man, if this world was created by a man, we will say he made a mistake. So why are you telling me that God cannot make mistake? There's some mistake here. Cancel me if you want to cancel me on that one. Okay. Dexterous Harry, he said it's a prison sentence, and a fine. Yeah, okay, good. So he should deal with it. Solomon Okotubo Otete, he said, Mr. Idafe, he and his brother brought themselves out. I agree with you 100%. That's the place where I stand. This one, we can't blame anybody because they bought fuel, pour it on themselves, bought a lighter, and strike the fire. Now, we are being seen as, oh, we didn't help to put out the fire. No. They did the barbecue. They bought the steak, but they decided to use themselves as the sacrifice. But then there was no ram that was cutting the ticket. So they've got to face it. What's that scripture? There is a scripture for it too. There's a Bible scripture for it. It's in Colossians. And see, the Pidgin English translation is the best translation of that scripture. But I don't know. Colossians chapter 3, verses 25. I read the Pidgin English translation. I'll read the English translation for you. The Pidgin English translation of Colossians 3:25 says, who do anyhow, go see anyhow. That's the Pidgin English translation. Colossians 3, verses 25. Go and check your Bible. But this is the English version. And the English version is not sweet. But the Pidgin version is very sweet. Who do anyhow, go see anyhow. The English version says, anyone who does wrong will be repaid for their wrongs, and there is no favoritism. That's the English version, but it's not sweet. It's not sweet. The Pidgin English version, you know what we say? Who do anyhow to say anyhow? We don't know the Bible with the quote. It's from the Bible. It's a Bible scripture. Yeah, Colossians chapter 3, verse 25. So, for those of you who believe in scripture, consequence of third law of motion is at play. Yeah. So every action is an equal or opposite. And I always tell people, if you slap me, I slap you back, that's the equal. Opposite, you slap me, I will shoot you. It's the opposite consequence. If they let people, they behave well. Growing up, you worry. You know that if I do this thing, waiting they go do me back, I might not like her. They make people, they behave. Shoots Pascal, I say, Man United have done their things. Spurs as well. My dearest Arsenal, I don't need to remind you of what to do tonight. Top 4 remains the goal. So Arsenal is playing the second most informed team in the Premier League currently. Arsenal have scored only 1 goal in 2022. Arsenal have not won any game in 2022. And when I say it this way, people are like, oh, 2022, but we've not played too many games as well. Arsenal have about 2 or 3 games in hand against the teams that are on top of them. The one that I really feel for the most is Chelsea that have played 24 games and Liverpool have played 22 games. Liverpool in second. Let's say that Man City have run away with the title. Arsenal in a place where they can make top 4. And somebody sent me this message. Hello, Idafe. Good morning. I know that you're talking about Coutinho and the rest of them, but let's talk about Arsenal a bit. I saw you respond to somebody's comment on Twitter on your thread that you stand with Mikel Arteta on the Aubameyang situation. I need to know, if you were a manager, would you do the same thing? You don't want to know what I would do. I was a manager of a team and I sacked my own blood brother. I was working at Yorokiri, so you can go find that. I went back home. I had gone home to tell my mom and my stepdad. So try to understand, this is not just your brother, like you're the same mama. This is your stepbrother, and you're living in that house. So I sacked him, and this is a club that pays salary, provide football boots and jerseys, and kits for players. And then I sacked him because it was taking things for granted. It was good. It was one of our fine full right and left fullback, which was black across both sides. But I fired him because if I ask the players to do something, he's always the one doing it last, like, it's my brother, my brother. You understand that kind of thing? And I sacked him to set an example for the others to know that if I could sack my brother, you guys might not reach. But then I went home and I have to deal. How do you face your mom? That another extra source of income and also an avenue to control this boy so that he doesn't follow gang. I mean, he's under you, he's coming with you, he's coming home with you. Now you're firing him, you're leaving him to go wild, right? I had to face my parents and my stepdad. And we never had a good relationship, okay? My stepdad and I. So think about all of that for a minute. I would. So what Arteta have done is not new. It's what every other coaches have done. I don't know why people think that Arteta is too small. Arteta is the manager, and if you as a fan look at Arteta as too small, you're stupid. And I owe nobody no apology for that. If you think Arteta is too small, remember that every manager that you love today who's a legend started small. Julian Nagelsmann is 35 when he became a world-class coach. So I don't understand why people think that Arteta is too small to do that. I was asking a guy, we're having that conversation around Aubameyang, and I said that if this was Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson, and Sir Alex Ferguson did what he did to Aubameyang, would you have a problem? He said no. He said, but that's Baba now. I said, so what makes Baba special and what makes Arteta not to be special? And he just looked at me. I said, listen, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you want to explain this, Aubameyang had lost form. And last season, after winning the FA Cup 2 seasons ago, Arteta stuck with Aubameyang, right? And because of Aubameyang, he even downplayed the role of Lacazette. But then Aubameyang started doing some things that are not right. Start coming late to training, team meeting against Tottenham Hotspur and the rest of them. And Arteta couldn't take it because this is a club that is in. When you're a club, you're in a sinking ship. You don't throw party. You try to save the ship. Arsenal is a sinking ship. And people talk about how great Aubameyang has been. And I said the arrival of Aubameyang coincided with the time that Arsenal couldn't be top 4 anymore. So what's the great thing is done? He won the FA Cup. Some unknown players like Kleb and the rest of them, Danielson, they won the FA Cup back-to-back for Arsenal under Arsene Wenger. So what are you saying about Aubameyang winning us the FA Cup? So to answer your question, I would sack him straight away. The good thing is the board supports Aubameyang with this. And I also think that what is happening here, this is my own opinion. I didn't read it from anyone. I didn't hear from anybody. What is happening here is Aubameyang have been assured by the board that they're going to leave him as a coach for long term. So Aubameyang is weeding out players that are not his players. And that is what every smart coach does. He's weeding out players that are not his players and bringing in his players. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the kind of paycheck, the checkbook that Pep Guardiola had. Remember, when Pep Guardiola took over Manchester City, they had just won the league title. What did he do? The best goalkeeper of the league the previous season, Johan, he kicked him out of the team. Zavaleta, one of the best fullback in the team, in the league, he kicked him out of the team, and he started changing the team. Even Yaya Toure, that was a commander, he kept him on the bench. What I'm saying with this, I know that he kept Vincent Kompany, he also left Silva, David Silva, and Kun Aguero, but you knew that he was going to face all of them. Now look at all of those players, they're all gone. And he's molded his own team. If you want to be a successful coach, especially with a long-term plan, you've got to build a team around players that are your players. You don't want players who look at you like, we used to play together. I used to play against you. Dortmund versus Arsenal, I played against you. And this is, who are you? That always happened. That's the thing that happened with Eto'o, Samuel Eto'o, and what's it called? Pep Guardiola. And Pep Guardiola couldn't stand it. There is only, listen, football is not a democracy. Anyhow you want to look at it, football is not a democracy. So when you play football, you should accept that you will come under the leadership of the coach. And the coach, the position of the coach is final. So if the coach says, let's meet by 10, you got to be there by 9:45. And then when you're the captain, there's more responsibility on your shoulder. So let me give you a list of people that were fired at a club when they were the best players at the team. Yapstam got fired because he had a disagreement, a minor disagreement with Alex Ferguson. At the time, he was the best defender in Europe, or one of the top 3 best defenders in Europe, but was fired from Manchester United because he had a minor disagreement with Alex Ferguson. Roy Keane, the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League at one time, was fired from Manchester United by Sir Alex Ferguson, not because he did anything bad, but he granted an interview to Man United TV, a channel that is owned by Manchester United, meaning that Sir Alex Ferguson also would see it before it goes public. He saw that thing, the interview never came out, and he was fired. David Beckham was sold or fired because he was dating Victoria Spice. And at the time, Alex Ferguson publicly said that it's not going to work, that this girl is distracting him. that this thing is not going to last. But hey, they are still married to today. Prophet Silas Ferguson, your prophecy did not come to pass. He's still married with Romeo, the other children, and together. But guess what? That was the reason why he found him out for 56 million to Real Madrid. Disagreement again with Cristiano Ronaldo on contract and the rest. The previous season begged him to stay one more season and found him out for 80 million in the time of depression, even though the player didn't want to go at that time. And then there was a disagreement with Rooney. There was also the disagreement with Ruud van Nistelrooy. Didn't want to go anywhere, but Silas Ferguson found him out. So let's talk about people letting players go. We can go to Pep Guardiola's history at Barcelona and even at Chelsea. When Jurgen Klopp came in, Benteke and the rest of them were playing for Liverpool. You think all of them that were sold wanted to leave? No, they didn't want to leave. Okay, but he sold them. He let them go. The same way when Jose Mourinho came to Chelsea, all them Crespo, them Mutu, and the rest of them were found out. Nobody complained. Why is Arteta's case different? Man, this guy is letting players go. It's not like he can't manage big players. It's just that big players does not understand what it means to come under authority. And the coach says, okay, if you can't come under authority, you can be kicked out. Yeah, because you can't coach a player who's not on the same page with you. A player who thinks that he's bigger than you. A player who thinks he's superior. A player who thinks he can do things the way he wants to do. Let's not forget, I always say, in football, it's not a democracy, it's a military, it's a regimented life. You must follow the regime, the regiment, the things that you are asked of to do. Because there are only two ways to win a football match. One, you win a game by following the tactics. The coach knows that, okay, this tactics is working. When you win a game, just because the players did what they want to do, it's called luck. That is the most difficult place to be. Go back and watch that interview where Thierry Henry was talking about Pep Guardiola when he played on that Pep Guardiola. He played a game in the first half, he scored 2 goals. As soon as he scored the second goal, Pep Guardiola yanked him up. And he went to the coach later and said, why did you remove me? He said, you're playing your own game, you're not playing to my instruction. And if you keep winning the way you're playing, one day we will lose and I'll not be able to explain it to the guys who employ me at the top. Because you need to play to my system. There is a system that will play by here, and you're not playing by that system. You're just taking it. This is not Arsenal. This is FC Barcelona. There's a reason you came here. You came here to win Champions League. I want to win Champions League for you, but you have to do it my way. And that's exactly what coaching is all about, because I've been in that position, I know. But why people think that, oh, Arteta is too small? Is it the size? Is the personality? I don't know. But listen, I know that this is the social media age. This is the millennial age. People forget the history of the game and how the game is played. But I come from the old school. I'm old school in the game. And I've been in the game long enough to say this, that you have no right to question the coach's position on a player that is farming out. Now, let's also understand the process by which you can let a player go from a team. Arteta does not have the power to cancel a player's contract. Let's not deceive ourselves. So once that contract was canceled, that's a club decision. That's not an Arteta's position. Yes, the coach is always going to come out as a good guy or the bad guy. Just like everybody was giving Arsene Wenger credit for the movement to the Emirates Stadium. Arsene Wenger did not do no shit in that. But people just want to delude themselves and think that the club didn't have a board, there's no chairman, there's no head of marketing, there is nobody who does everything. People even said that the loan was guaranteed on Arsene Wenger. And I'm like, adults think like this? So if that loan, Arsene Wenger had died in the process, the club, the loan will go, what happens to the loan? What bank would even give you a loan on the guarantee that the coach stays? What bank? What kind of business model is that? But then credit was given to Arsene Wenger. But when Atletico Madrid moved to the Wanda Metropolitana, nobody said that it was Diego Simeone that made it happen. Or when Benfica moved to a new stadium, Estadio de Luz or Estadio de Dragão, nobody said it was the coaches that was there that made it happen. I'm just raising this point. So sometimes when we talk about football, let's talk about football from a very, very normal, holistic viewpoint. Let's not just use our sentiment. Some people said Arteta is even racist, he's biased, is this, is that. Aubameyang have not done well. 1 minute you're the joint highest goal scorer in the league. Next minute you're not scoring even up to 10 goals in a whole season. And then you want the coach to keep you. And it's a club where they're struggling to make top 4, not even win a title. And you keep playing week in, week out. You're not there. You know, you have 3 great games and then you disappear like you walk. Come on. That's not going to happen. Nobody should blame Arteta for that one. I hope I've answered the question, though. And final messages on YouTube. Jolene Brandon is still on raid. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. Ferdinand Obi, please, can NFF recall Victor Moses? He is still good. I don't think Victor Moses wants to play for Nigeria. The NFF president, the former coach, Ganatrol, reached out to him. He didn't come. So I don't think that the NFF wants to go through that stress again. I think there's so many players that can still play for Nigeria and have still value. Again, when you think of recalling him, what we experienced with Odion might also happen with him, because the club that signed him signed a player that have retired from national duty. You invite him and you're hoping that he's coming last minute, 4 minutes to his flight. The club says, oh, we can't let you go because when we signed you as a retired player and we never saw that you were going to go back to your national team, so we can't let you go. What do you do? So in those kind of situations, I just think that we should let them go and then look for new players, change our system to play to the strength of the players that we have and win. But see, tomorrow we'll talk about Ghana. It's war. The game against Ghana is war. Ghana is coming strong. Ghana is preparing like their lives depend on it, and they are not going back. So it's up to us not to play. Yes, I see our coach, Austin Egbamo, going from one stadium to the other, watching matches, Kwara United. If you're not going to invite those players, you better stay away. Okay, Coach Zuma has been fined the sum of £250,000. Had his Adidas deal cancelled and could face 4 years in a French prison for kicking his cat. Edinaza kicked a 17-year-old ball boy and got away with only 3-match ban. Make of this whatever you want. That's according to Pastor Femi Obaweya. Okay, my daddy. Thank you very much. I like the way you put it. Okay, Umaru is saying, good morning, boss. This Zuma matter just taught us that it is not everything that seems sweet or funny to us that should be put on social media. Thank you very much for that. And so that note, that will come to the end of the show today. Tomorrow, I'll try and get somebody in Ghana on the show, maybe via Zoom or anything, and try to fill their pulse, because these Ghanaian guys are, I don't know, but it seems like they're not joking. It doesn't look to me like they are taking this line low. They just want to chill, but it seems like they want to chill with the big boys. First off, they went to get Chris Hughton as the football director, and then they also brought in what's it called now? They brought in Otu Ado, who's the assistant coach at Bayern with Borussia Dortmund, sorry, to come become the interim head coach. You see, they're copying Nigeria in that one. Didi Dramani, remember him? Former player, so assistant coach. George Boateng, the guy that played for Aston Villa, captain them, was a very, very long-time player with them. Okay, they've also brought him to become assistant coach at the team. The technical advisor or technical director, I don't think it's technical advisor, I'm sorry, wrong one. Chris Hughton is going to be the technical director of the team. Ghana have assembled a team of who know what, who know how, where to go. But does that mean they will beat Nigeria? Well, we'll have that conversation tomorrow. We'll talk about it. I'm trying to get someone in Ghana. I was unable to pull him through today. The Ghana FA president also told me, no, he's not going to talk to me on my show. He doesn't want to share their secrets with us. But him and Amaju, they are friends, they are brothers. But this time, this is brothers at war, and anything can happen. So let's keep our fingers crossed and see how it goes. Thank you very much, everyone who's joining on the show, from Facebook to Instagram to YouTube. God bless you so much. And one of the people I say, Alex Amaluda was demoted to the Chelsea reserve before they were finally found out. Okay, nobody talked about that one. But when it's Ateta, everybody want to have an opinion. And people like Abolaji, he said there is the confidence from many Ghanaians that they will go past us. Don't know where this is coming from. If you see the squad that they assembled as coaches, you should have confidence. Okay, if you compare theirs to ours, it seems like theirs now have rich coaches. But then I say again, you need a team to be able to achieve that. They've not had a team together. Let's not talk about Aliou Cissé of Senegal. It's had 8 years to build that team. These guys will not have any friendly match before they play us in March. We should be able to come together and do something. They would come with their voodoo. They will come with their Ghana Jollof. They will come with their women to distract us, because they know that our boys like women. And these are facts. These are things that I'm hearing, that they plan to, put women all around our team and make sure that they are distracted. They are even ready to come to the stadium and put semi-naked girls in down on the stadium to distract our players. But let's see. I'm going to be in Ghana. I'll capture them on cameras, put them in the film. You will see it. But let's see how it goes. Yes, this is my time on the show. I'm going to shoot actually by 4 minutes, but thank you very much for being with me on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube as well. Those of you who listen on the mobile application on Legbete TV Radio on your Android. Thank you very much for your time. Son of Oba of Benin, say good morning, sir. Please do NFF have video? What do you mean by do NFF have video? I need to understand what you mean by that. I gotta go now and do some other things. Yeah, what do I need to do today after I leave the studio? I think I need to go to God is Good Park to go and send something to Benin. After that, I come back. It's me and Netflix today. Well, if you feel the need, like God is speaking to you to send me money, please send me money. I need money right now. Like I'm so dried up. Send me money. It will be very useful. You have like 20 million that you're not using, and you feel the need to give somebody. I will not use it to go and open a restaurant for free food like Apostle Suleiman, but I will use it judiciously. God bless you. Have yourself a lovely day. My name once again is Sid Matthew. So now you love to come in and on the sports. It's been a lovely time on the Sports Cafe.